Ladies and gentlemen, myself and Harry are here early in the morning, and we thought we'd start off with a nice light topic. The craziest conspiracies ever.
I've literally rolled out of bed, mate. My hair's still wet from the shower. I got my cup of tea.
That's why we need, you need something to just wake you up.
All right, cool.
Here we go.
All major world pyramids are aligned with the Orion's Belt constellation, and how they appear to be aligned with one another despite being built thousands of miles and thousands of years apart. And notice they're perfectly aligned with the cardinal directions.
Have you seen that, by the way? You know, if you go Google Maps,
yeah.
Google Maps, and then just search pyramids of Giza, look how perfectly straight it is with the world.
Whoa, that is weird.
Yeah, it's how have they done that? How have they done that? I don't know.
Has Google Maps turned to be in line with the pyramids?
Maybe. maybe. But it's kind of mental.
Ratio perfectly matches the Earth, and the coordinates mysteriously match the speed of light. How could humans have built these pyramids 2,500 years before Jesus?
Aliens.
What if I told you they didn't?
Archaeologists will tell you they could build the Great Pyramid, but I defy them to do that. The Great Pyramid is literally impossible. It certainly doesn't make sense as the tomb of a megalomaniac pharaoh.
What if the ancient Egyptians had...
I remember seeing this on Twitter all the time back in the day.
What was this?
This is just basically they're the bottom of the a massive what would you call it, like a pillar?
Like a spire?
Yeah, like a spire. Basically, there's these massive things coming out the bottom of the earth, and these the pyramids at the top of them.
What?
Yeah, I know. But this was years ago. I saw
help from the gods they worshipped that were, in reality, extraterrestrial beings, lending them technology far ahead of their time.
Above the King's Chamber in the Great Pyramid are 5 further chambers. And these chambers are roofed and floored with granite beams that weigh about 70 tons each. And there are hundreds of them. And these 70-ton granite beams, which...
That makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
The weight... I know there's a weight, but how would you move that?
I don't know is the simple answer.
Okay, yeah, but there must. I agree. Also, I'm not of the argument that it's aliens and but it is just bonkers, isn't it?
Yeah, but I feel like it must have just been they used a different sort of you know how we have trucks and stuff. They just had manual things.
What that just kind of that kind of disappeared, so we don't even know what they use anymore.
Yeah,
yeah.
But they make sense. Yes, it would have been ridiculously hard work, but that's why they weren't just doing it as a day job. That's why they were enslaving thousands of people, millions or whatever.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man, it's crazy pyramids.
70-ton beam is equivalent in weight to 35 large SUVs. These 70-ton granite beams have been elevated to a height of more than 350 feet above the ground and carefully and precisely placed in position. It is very hard for archaeologists to explain how that was done using purely leverage and mechanical advantage. You can say, perhaps they built a ramp and hauled the stones up the ramp. But then you have to confront basic laws of physics. You can't haul a stone weighing tens of tons up a slope that exceeds 10 degrees.
Oh, so the slope would have to be super thin or super slowly go.
Yeah, I think this guy's deeped it too much,
Maybe, I think they just chucked it together, man. I think,
Why didn't they just build it in there?
When you start doing the calculation, how long a ramp do I need with a 10-degree slope to get to 350 feet above the ground? And the answer is you need a fucking long ramp.
Here is how flat earthers believe the universe works. They believe that Earth is a flat disk which looks like this. The North Pole is at the center, with Antarctica forming an ice wall around the outer edges of the disk. This is why flat earthers believe the 1961 Antarctic Treaty was agreed upon by all the world's nations.
This to me is just the funniest. Flat Earth is so funny.
They believe that this is the reason the UN uses this as their symbol. There is also a dome-like barrier called the...
But it's just I swear you can do a test with the laser and just see the curvature of it. I swear there's loads of instances you can see the curvature of the Earth. Or am I just bugging it?
No, there is.
Maybe not.
But they refuse to believe that those are real. They're you're seeing it being altered in time or whatever. You know what I mean?
Would that mean that everyone that's gone to space and
no one's been to space? That's the argument.
But people have. All the people that worked on them going to space.
Yeah.
Are they all sworn to secrecy too? Are they all in on the joke? I don't know.
Flat earthers do not believe we have ever passed this barrier. According to flat earth theory, gravity does not exist. Instead, they believe in a universal acceleration. believing that all celestial bodies are accelerating upward at a rate of 9.8 meters per second squared.
Okay.
They also believe that Earth is not actually spinning, and provide counter evidence to disprove the rotation of the planet, such as the fact that clouds in the atmosphere are not moving at the rate of 1,000 miles per hour, the rate of the Earth's rotation. Flat Earthers believe that when Copernicus theorized that the Earth moved around the sun, all of the world's religions decided to accept his theories, and rather than risk being questioned, the world's religions have a vested interest in furthering the Earth globe idea. In turn, Flat Earthers...
As soon as a religion admits like it was wrong about something, then the whole thing crumbles.
All imagery from the space program has been faked. Some of the most common pieces of evidence are the lack of direct commercial flights between two cities within the southern hemisphere. Unfortunately, we are talking
the thing about this, it's just like
all
there's
of these
so
theories
like
don't explain why
so
a
many
ship
people have to
disappears
lie.
over the horizon.
There's too many people having to like be in
first.
cahoots
The
here.
book is a long.
No, I think the whole thing is
evaluation
that
of
like
evidence.
anyone that has been to space, in quotation marks, has like an altered view. So like what they're seeing out the side of the thing isn't right.
Isn't what they think they're seeing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Something like that. I think
Even just
obviously.
people doing calculations, like even people doing like rocket calculations. Surely, if the Earth was flat, like your rocket calculations would be different. But
You'd think.
who knows, man?
Yeah.
You know what? They might be right. They might.
They're
be
not.
right.
They're not.
You never know.
Claims that we never actually went to the moon.
Oh, this is a good one.
This book makes the case that the moon landing was so political that the US, having failed to develop a feasible plan to get to the moon, pulled off this secretive
I mean, it is
staging
weird
of
how
the
few
event,
people have been
all
to the
as
moon
a
since.
propaganda play to
I
get
know.
ahead of the
I
Soviets.
know.
And he emphasizes the point that, it's the Cold War. It's not that far-fetched that the US government would come up with some deception campaign.
This is a good point. Like, if there's ever a time to fake the moon landing, it's when you're in like a propaganda battle.
Yeah.
Like it would be a good time to do it. But again, how many thousands of people have to be sworn to have to lie for this to be real?
Well, not that
I
many.
just feel like
They just needed to film it. Like, well, you could do that with like 40 people.
no. But all the people that worked on the space program, because there was genuine people working on putting people on the moon.
But was
Like,
there?
oh, don't say that.
What if it was
was.
40 people in a room and they just went, you know what? It was us.
No.
They worked on a rocket elsewhere, but these 40 people were the ones who actually landed on the moon.
Oh man, I don't know.
Totally fair, actually. But that's not evidence. That's just speculation. He does go on to present a bunch of photos and explanations that turn into the foundation of what would become a widespread theory that the moon landing was faked. The first major one starts here.
How come there aren't any stars in this photo? There's no atmosphere or light pollution.
Why
on
isn't
the
there
moon.
stars?
Shouldn't this photo look like this?
Oh.
Well, it turns out that if you want to capture the stars, even on the moon, you have to open up your camera for a very long time and let a bunch of light in. I mean, if you take the photo and blast up the brightness, you can kind of see some traces of the stars if you really need to.
Yeah, I see it.
This flag is waving, but there's no wind on the moon.
Yes, the flag is kind of waving, but remember that this isn't a normal flag. NASA had to make a custom flag for the Apollo missions that had a horizontal rod right up here so that the flag wouldn't look like this. It had to look nice and American and patriotic. There's a lot of evidence out there.
Imagine
Like,
being
why
the
isn't there
first
exhaust
person on the
this
moon
flame?
and people just not believing
Or
you.
why did the Eagle Lander not leave a crater? What about the radiation exposure that these astronauts would have gotten? What about Neil Armstrong's boot print? Or the lost tapes? Don't get me started on lost tapes. We actually had a whole section in the script about the lost tapes, and ultimately it didn't make the cut.
Chuck, I've been public on the fact that I'm waiting for someone to convince me that we don't live in a simulation.
I've heard you say it.
The arguments put forth have been quite convincing to me. And most of the best arguments are traceable to a guy named Nick Bostrom. a
This is the
philosopher
one that actually
at
gets me.
the University of Oxford.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here's the argument. Ready?
Go ahead.
Our computing power is growing rapidly.
Right.
We create simulations of worlds. We have video games with characters that are inside the video game.
Right.
Imagine a day where you can simulate a world so perfectly with life forms, humans, so well that you can recreate every single neurosynaptic thought you could have, but now you're in the simulation on the computer,
So,
including the perception of free will.
well, there you have it. Because then, so now you would have enough computers.
This gets me too, because like I've used the Vision Pro. Like I like it's the groundwork is sort of there, right? And
Yeah.
you know those like in real life like zombie things where you're on like a walking trackpad.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like
Like, do you not think that, like, look what you do for a living, right? A little bit too perfect.
whenever this debate comes up, I always say this: like, if you ask me like 10 years old to pick a life, I would have picked the life I've lived now.
Exactly.
So is it not conceivable I've lived in a previous life and then gone, oh, you know what, I'd be sick to live is to be a YouTuber, and now I've chosen this simulation.
Exactly. You're actually like 80 years old, sat in a chair with a headset on, and this is fake.
Yeah.
Oh.
Fuck.
I don't like it.
But yeah, this is the one that I'm the most like. There must be a way of. I don't know if there's a way of disproving it, but like it seems plausible. But then what about? Okay, sorry, more.
Okay.
What about the people that? What about the people that don't live? That are living like
well,
a
no, they're in your
life?
simulation.
They're not actually. Okay, so
this
not everyone in this world
is
is
your simulation.
Okay.
Well, this is my simulation, but they've got their own simulation.
This is my simulation.
But they've got their own simulation, you know?
Or maybe we were boys in like the last life, and we're like, oh, what we will do?
We'll jump on a headset together.
We'll be YouTubers together in the next life. Join my server.
Oh my God.
View the Sims inside of the program with all of the human traits that we possess now.
Correct. Not only our human traits, but the world.
But the world.
The world itself.
Right.
And you don't have to have all the world existing there at all times.
Right.
That might be an unrealistic amount of computing power.
Right.
You just need
enough of the world that they see around them.
That they see around them. Right. So you want to start digging and
that's so funny.
And have it put the earth
see?
there. There's a flag that goes up in the programmer, and they say, need more earth. So they put earth beneath you while you can keep digging.
It's like the Truman Show.
Yeah, well, for example.
Right.
Okay.
Cool.
Or does Minecraft, you can build
or
stuff.
Minecraft.
Right.
Oh, that is Minecraft.
Right. Okay.
God, that guy's a brilliant genius. Okay.
So, and we went to the moon. It's okay. Let's make sure the moon is there.
Right.
Okay.
Maybe that's why we can't travel faster than the speed of light. Because if we could, we'd be able to get to another galaxy
before they could program
that galaxy.
You mean that you yourself weren't convinced about the single bullet theory? No, I wasn't convinced.
Governor Connolly, the one who was sitting in front of JFK.
I swear this is not like this is like an actual. There was something dodgy going on here.
I don't know what this is.
JFK assassination. They basically said like the CIA did it, or like I don't want to get our show pulled here, but there's claims of foreign agencies involved as well.
And the one who was supposedly shot by that one single bullet, he disagreed with the story.
I understand there's some question in the minds of the experts about whether or not we could both have been hit with the same bullet. I just don't happen to believe that.
Even the new president, LBJ, wasn't totally convinced. I mean, he was kind of secretive about it, but he eventually did come out and tell a reporter from The Atlantic that he thought that this was a conspiracy, that it was Cuba retaliating against the US for all of these CIA attempts to assassinate their leader. This was not good for the Warren Commission and their story. Then, 12 years after the assassination, this full uncut version of a strip of film that shows the assassination of JFK, it finally airs on national TV. They were way too fixated on their assumptions that it had to be this lone gunman.
Having an assassination on
and that
TV.
Their conclusions were way
kind of
too
crazy.
definitive. And then they specifically call out the FBI and the CIA for withholding information from the investigation.
So hang on, the footage of the assassinations was it not out there? Was it like an
I think they had it, but it wasn't public.
Really?
I think the CIA had it.
I don't know.
So they weren't sharing it.
The crux of it, right, is that they don't believe that Lee. Basically, they believe like he wasn't just shot by some that Lee Harvey Oswald guy, like some rogue guy. There was a bigger plot behind it, which I would probably agree with. I think.
Well, wasn't there the whole thing of like there was a shooter in like a library and a shooter on the grassy knoll or something like that? Like there was two shooters, but they don't know who was the. I don't know.
So a bigger entity planned this than just the one Donnie that did it. I think is the. But at the same time, I know fucking nothing.
This is going to be like a complete side topic, and it might also be wrong. But wasn't there also was it Lincoln shot in the theater? Lincoln was assassinated by. This was Lee Harvey Oswald, right? That was John Wilkes Booth. Yeah. And there's a whole thing of like John Wilkes Booth, Lee Harvey Oswald, or like the president's birthdays were exactly the same distance apart as the assassinators, and the letters were the same amount. There was some like crazy thing I've heard about that.
Mate, you know what? In the world, in this crazy world, anything's possible.
What crazy world? It's a simulation.
No!
One FBI agent even testified that he was ordered by his superiors to destroy evidence. In this case, a letter that Oswald had written to the FBI.
And he handed it to me, and he said, "Oswald's dead now. There can be no trial. Here, get rid of this."
Why was the FBI asking its agents to destroy evidence?
Wow.
That is weird.
Well, that was quite something for early in the morning.
Yeah, first thing wakes you up.
Out of the ones you've just seen, which one do you believe the most?
The simulation 1,000,000%.
Yeah.
Like the simulation one is one that I genuinely is like, there's no part of my mind that can just disregard it.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Like the pyramids one's impossible to explain.
I want to. In my head, I want to like so. I'm gonna go for the JFK one in the
Okay.
Pray we're not in a simulation because it just feels like
Fair.
fucks everything.
All right, thanks for watching, everyone. Goodbye.